Hello, everybody. This is story time from the van. I'm caught in a little bit of a rainstorm while I'm out trying to make money, which is not conducive to happiness. So story time. This is about when I coached high school football. A little bit of a different story from the last one, but this is about dedication and perseverance. We had I forget what year it was. This was in Estero, Florida, which is where I am right now in this downpour. I don't know why the hell they call it the Sunshine State, but you pretty much need to wear a life preserver all the time. But so let's get back to the story. The there we were man. This was probably I'm terrible on dates. Within the last 10 years, we had probably less than 10 years. We were going into our varsity football season. At that time, I think I was the quarterback. I might have been receivers coach or quarterback coach. I don't remember at that particular time. But we had three quarterbacks. We had one quarterback that was a senior. His name was Will. We had another quarterback. I think his name was Jason. And then we had a young. So this is probably about, 8 years ago, I'm guessing. We had a sophomore quarterback named Ryan who, sorry, I was looking at cars pulling in. We had a sophomore quarterback named Ryan who was going to be, pretty much everybody knew he was going to be the JV quarterback. So what transpires is the senior quarterback, Will, was doing pretty good. He looked like he was going to be our number one QB. And then the other kid, Jason, he was like really close to. And then for whatever reason, right before the beginning of the season, he quits. So now we have to elevate our quarterback named Ryan into the backup QB role, basically. Well, we were at that time we were still a very poor football program going into transition with a new coach, a new coaching staff, trying to implement fundamentals and discipline and just football knowledge. So the first game of the year, in the first quarter, our starting quarterback breaks his ankle, something on his lower body. I think it was his ankle. So he's out. So now we have to put a quarterback in who's never seen varsity football action, who we were going to, bring him along as, through the JV program, at least for, part of the year or the whole year, what have you. And so everything changed. The entire plan changed. So we were playing a really good school that I had coached at for a year. So this is about amazing, how you can achieve amazing success even when you don't think it can happen. But it comes through hard work and dedication. So Ryan basically goes from being the third string quarterback to now the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. And I know he was like just pooping nuggets and sweating bullets. So he goes in and his first game and does really well. We didn't win the game, but he does really. I wish I knew all the stats. I used to keep all this documented somewhere. I don't have it. But he that week of practice, we were practicing. You talk about a cursed football program. We're practicing, and he throws a pass and somehow breaks his. I think it was this finger. Is just like mine's broken here. He breaks this finger. his right finger on his passing hand, and he threw a nice tight spiral. Well, that's very crucial to a spiral, is having that. Is this the index finger? I don't know. So we're like, oh my God, what can? So we put like a wooden splint on him, tape it up and everything. He didn't have the big metal thing on, but we put a wooden splint on there, taped them all up, and sorry, I'm looking at vehicle. I'm trying to see if anybody's stopping. But his next game, I forget where we go. We go to, I think it was Lemon Bay. And he is starting now. We had a high-powered, very aggressive passing offense. So we go to Lemon Bay High School. He throws for, I know he had 5 touchdown passes. I'm pretty sure 0 interceptions, 2 drops for a touchdown. And I want to say he passed for 270 yards. And he was 95%, 90% completion rate, something crazy that you're doing with a broken finger. Then the next week, he goes out and passes for some ridiculous amount. He was like 40 yards shy of the all-time record in the state of Florida. This is a quarterback that's about 5'8" with a broken index finger. So, my message basically is to anybody who's in football or sports, just be prepared. When your number's called, you just got to be ready. So he went on to be his senior year. I'm trying to remember. I know he finished within the top 10 in the state of Florida. It was weird how things happen down here. We ended up having to play in some monsoons, games that were rescheduled, and then he was within the top 5, going neck. When I say the top 5, everybody was really close in yardage and success. And then when it's raining that much and you just have mud on the football, it's really hard to throw the football. So excuse me, the other player that he was real close with, the number 1 player in the state, ended up having really good weather on the other coast. So it basically affected him being, one of the all-time greats in Florida. He still is one of the all-time greats in Florida. So and I'm going to reveal the starting quarterback's name. His name's Ryan Sides, and he was really good, really good. I was his quarterback coach. I know in his junior and senior year. I don't remember if I was his quarterback coach or not in his sophomore year, but we worked the daylights out of him and all the quarterbacks. Every day I had all the quarterbacks pretty much go through a combine every day. It was like a drill sergeant, but it was fun coaching those kids, especially a kid like Ryan who really can listen and absorb. You might be able to go back into the record books and Google Ryan Sides. He had a lot of publicity. He had almost 8,000 yards passing in 3 years. I know he was definitely in the 7,000. He surpassed 7,000, but I think he got, don't quote me on this, I think he was around 7,500 yards in 3 years as a starting high school quarterback at Estero High School. So, I'm really proud of kids that have, first of all, have natural ability, that are very coachable. Ryan Sides was very coachable. Many of the quarterbacks that I did coach were very coachable. But I just thought I'd give him a shout out because he popped up in my memories on Facebook here recently, and his stats were off the charts. It was just unbelievable. It's he was like Fran Tarkington. He just could scramble, run, and just there were so many things you would see him do and execute, and you'd say yeah, we coached that, we practiced that, and then you'd see like a lot of other things that was all him. I didn't coach him on that. That was all Ryan, and that would happen a lot. It was funny. You could see when he would implement coaching, and then he would just improvise and always, I wouldn't say always, but most of the time make the right decision. So it was very fun coaching high school football, and when you could motivate young men and see good results. So that's all. That's my story time. Just always be ready. You never know when your number's going to be called. And there's a couple ways your number can be called. The second one's not the greatest, but anyway, peace out, folks.